Welcome back to the channel. I haven't posted a house build video in quite a while. Number one, I don't usually work on my house unless it's winter time, and number two, I'd rather post videos of smaller things, smaller projects that I'm building and making out in my shop. But it's winter time, so I'm in my house and I'm working on the inside of my house since I can't really work outside, and I'm trying to do drywall. Now, I'm not a professional drywaller. I won't claim to be. At one point in time, I thought I was, and that's when I first started doing drywall. I thought, just drywall can't be that hard. I did bodywork for a living. You're just making a wall flat, right? No big deal. Go grab some fast set compound and some drywall, lightweight compound, put the drywall up, fill the screw holes. It'll all smooth out. It's easy. It's not that easy. Even for somebody who's fixed cars all my life and made cars nice and clean and straight again. It's a whole different beast. So a couple things I've figured out along the way I'd like to share with you. So if you were to look around the area that I'm standing in right now that I've done a bunch of drywall in, you'd see that I have drywall in a couple different stages. There are some pieces of drywall over there that the joints have not been covered. There are some that have been taped and some that have a second coat on top of the tape. Now I usually do one coat with the tape, like fill the joint, put the tape on, smooth it out, let it dry, another coat on top of that, and then a final coat with the premix box. The first two coats, I use a fast set 40. I use fast set 40 because I'm not super quick at doing this. Fast set 40 gives you 40 minutes of work time. If you want specifics on the fast set mud or the premixed mud, there's professionals that can tell you way more about it than I can. Like I said, I'm just starting out. I'm not even gonna try and be a professional drywall guy. This is just for my house. So if you wanna know more about fast set mud or pre-mixed mud, there's plenty of other videos you can watch that'll get you way more information than I can give you. I could watch a bunch of videos and reiterate that, but it's not what I wanna do. So what I wanna do is show you a couple things that I've kind of figured out that I haven't seen in other videos. The first thing that I noticed in a lot of videos is they'll tell you to have a clean bucket to mix your mud in. They never say why. Why is it? I mean, you can clean a bucket, right? Clean bucket's obvious, you know, yeah, you should have a clean bucket. But it needs to be thoroughly clean. Let me give you an example. So here's one of the buckets that I typically use. Now, this one might look clean, get a flashlight. Take a closer look at the very bottom down there in that crease in that corner. See that little bit of drywall putty? It's dried in there. That little piece of drywall putty, it's stuck to the side. You don't have to worry about it, right? No big deal. No, you do. Because if your putty knife, as you're scraping your drywall mix out of here, if it grabs that and collects it up and then you spread it on the wall, and then you take your putty knife and you smooth it out, that little granule is going to get stuck into the blade of your putty knife and it's going to drag a crease right through your putty. And then it's not going to be flat, it's not going to be smooth. The more of those pieces you have in your bucket, the more you got to stop, pick them out of the wall, throw them in the garbage, get rid of them, whatever you're going to do with them, and then get back to work. Yeah, you can sand it all out later. No big deal, right? Well, who wants to spend hours sanding drywall? I want to get the drywall in there as smooth as I can. And I know there's plenty of drywall guys out there that don't sand hardly anything at all. They're super good at their job. They get their putty knives out and they smooth out the whole wall. Done. No sanding required, no mess. That's kind of the way I want to be. I'm not going to be that way, but I want to get as close as I can. Fast set 40, you got 40 minutes of work time. The more time you spend picking little granules off your wall, the less work time you have. And for me, the work time is important. That's why I use fast set 40. They have fast set 5. I don't even want to think about 5-minute work time. There's no way. If I mix this whole bucket, I'd get like a little piece of it on the wall and smoothed out and I'd have to throw the rest away. It just wouldn't work. So that little piece of drywall putty in there, you want to get that out. If you can't get it out of your bucket, go get a different bucket. Make sure your bucket that you're mixing drywall compound in, make sure it is spotlessly clean. Here's a tip that I figured out that I haven't seen anywhere out there. And honestly, it's probably because professionals don't need to use it. Professionals can see what they're doing, every square inch of it as they're doing it. They can tell probably in the dark whether it's gonna look good or not. But I can't. I don't have the eye for it. I haven't been doing it my whole life. So I use little tips and tricks to help me out. The one thing that has helped me the most is this. Not this brand. I'm not sponsored by Ryobi. They're okay tools. But this light right here. This can show you all your imperfections in your wall. Easier than just looking at it. I'll give you an example. You put that flashlight, really bright flashlight, at the base of the wall, shining up. Right up the side of the wall. Let me get you off the tripod here. Bring you up close. So what that light does is it casts a shadow. See the ridge right here in the wall? It casts a shadow. So it makes it more visible to those of us who aren't used to doing drywall. Now we know, hit that with a piece of sandpaper, or knock it down with a putty knife, or if it's still wet, you can go over it with your trowel again and smooth that ridge out. So this is my second coat of Fast Set 40. Pretty close. I find any ridges I might hit them with a putty knife, smooth them out a little bit. Then I'm gonna go over it with my pre-mixed box of lightweight all-purpose joint compound. That's what it's called because I had to go read the box. But anyway, as you get used to spreading putty, you don't need the light as much. I don't need the light as much. But when I was first starting out, it sure helped out a ton. As you get more used to spreading putty and smoothing it out, you kind of see it on your own without the light being there. And granted, it is kind of a pain in the butt to have to move the light all the time, but if you want a clean outcome from spreading putty without having to sand a lot, that light right there, it works really, really well. I've got to get the last coat put on this section of wall up here, get it all smoothed out real nice so I can move on to the rest of it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment. Helps the video get out to more people. Until next time, go make something.